Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of February 28th, March 1st, March 2nd, 2014. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, make sure you say rabbit, rabbit on March 1st. That's a big thing I always say at the beginning of the month. And before we get to this big horoscope of this portal that's opening, I have some announcements first. Go to leokingevents.com at 4:50 p.m. Pacific because I am launching the site based off the astrology, but it's about my retreat for this year. I'm going to be doing a retreat about Jupiter entering Leo. Of course, right? I'm the Leo King, and this is going to be my 30th birthday bash. This gives you the opportunity to hang with me one-on-one in a group with all of us together for the most amazing retreat experience that I have come up with. So check out leokingevents.com if you want to join us this summer. I'm doing something different than anybody's doing when it comes to retreats. And this weekend, I'm doing my show, Spiritual House Sessions, which is going to go deep into the astrology, deep into the tarot, DJing the house music. I'm going to do it at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And this is going to be really cool because I'm going to the Oscars Sunday night. So I got to do it early in the morning. So if you're around in the afternoon or morning, depending on where you're at, and you want to hang out on Sunday, I'm doing that show. And last but not least, my webinar, which I'm doing this weekend, is up for download on Saturday and Sunday at my site, inclusiveastrology.com, going deep into March. All right. Here we are, we're at the beginning of this new month, we're closing out a month, but more importantly, we are closing out the last monthly cycle of the moon. We have a new moon in Pisces this weekend, gonna happen late Friday night, early Saturday, depending on where you are, and this is a new beginning in the sign of Pisces, dealing with our intuition, our conscious selves. More importantly though, going with the flow, connecting with spirit, and it is in a trine with Jupiter, exact. This means huge amounts of optimism. When the Sun and Jupiter trine, this is one of the best astrological alignments that you can have in the year. And it's about seeing the bigger picture. This is also the grandiose kind of energy, feeling good, you know, that chuckle, the humor. And when we have Mercury going direct on Friday at the same time in Aquarius, there's a spark, there's an aha coming, there's a bigger picture now on the horizon, an understanding of, gosh, what was I going through all this stuff before? Now I can see this vision. Now my life could be turning in these directions. But if you want to get my truth to you, this is also going to test your abilities to see how far you're launching your life. If you've ever heard of, the law of attraction, which I'm sure you have, it's about your vision. This is the vision board in your life. And how big is it and where is it going? Because the universe is about to, with this new portal now, slip us into how big our visions are. Slip us into, are we connecting with our higher self, our conscious self? Or are we stuck in our unconscious? And this gives you a new opportunity this weekend to connect with your conscious self, to connect with the roads that you want to open in your life, to connect with the more divine self, the self that's ready to go with the flow, the self that surrenders to spirit. That this weekend can feel so good inside because when we have the Sun and Jupiter, it's a warm feeling. And when you have it in signs like Cancer and Pisces, it's the sweetness. It's the gratitude that we have to step into, the thankfulness to be able to be here on this earth and connected to our souls, to be able to connect deeper than we ever have before, because the moon does pass over Neptune, and there is this feeling of, maybe it could be a little lost, but it's the mystical energy, the dream. These are dreams trying to come true. And this is the door opening to those dreams. But you've got to have a big vision. You've got to be able to believe in them. The logical people are not going to do too well through this because dreams don't come through logically. Dreams come through emotionally, in your imagination. And with Mercury coming direct, this is the signal that finally the universe can get things back online, put things back together, and figure things out better. This also can really spark up unpredictable energy this weekend, an excitement that comes back into your life. And I definitely think that we've been trying to get to the bottom and figure out every angle of so many things in our life that this weekend, it pulls us out. It pulls us into this new portal. And it leads us to Saturday on March 1st, rabbit, rabbit, remember that, when Mars goes retrograde. Mars will go retrograde from March 1st until May 19th and 20th of 2014. So we've got 3 months here of redirecting the troops, Mars, the planet of war, the planet of action, the planet of ego, is retrograding. Remember, the masculine energy kind of going beep. You know, it's taking a break. We got the men got to juice up. You know, the masculine needs to rejuice. The troops just can't keep trying to take over this tower because we're losing too many folks. And in our lives, this is the greatest expansion that has happened in our masculine energy, our drive, and also these energy in relationships. You know, us trying to find the balance in relationships, us trying to define what partnerships work in our life. This is also Mars, which is going to retrograde for the next 3 months and hump over, because we have Mars in a shadow period, it's called, where it's going to do this really funky angle. This is covering 2011 and 2012, where Saturn was when it came into Libra, with the relationships you had then, with the energies that you were going through to clean up the karma. I guarantee you, if you go back in your life from 2011 and 2012, that it was energy, relationships. It was also, if you want to go deeper in your natal chart, wherever Mars is here retrograding, this is a place that is here to concrete and finish up and make it happen. But it's got a retrograde, and I think retrogrades are where Mars cuts the other side of the grass. And this is going to cut and understand permanently things dealing with disharmony, things dealing with certain relationships. And there is a long transit that begins. So this portal not only brings us into a new moon, a new optimistic look to push our dreams, to push new places to root our life, to find new emotions and new comfort levels, it then adds Mars retrograde. Bam! It's time for us to reset in our life, to find more balance, to find the right partnerships. It's time for us to not push so hard. That's why I keep saying this is where our ship must point in the right direction, and we have to trust now this beautiful energy of Neptune, this beautiful energy of Chiron, this beautiful energy of the sun, this beautiful energy of the moon this weekend, all to allow spirit to push us in the right directions. What we've got to do is cut the other way now. Not cut forward, but cut backwards. And cut the things that aren't really working. This is cutting weeds. This is like, you know, getting rid of the things that I would say are karmically closing. And I think this new portal we come into gives us the ability, you know, whenever you add Mars in Libra, it's about using your actions for beauty, using your actions for harmony, using your actions in art. That this could really be a 3-month process to develop relationships, develop art, develop a better inner peace in yourself by not having to force yourself so hard, but by redirecting how you use the force in your life. Kind of sound like Luke Skywalker a little bit there. Woo! But we then move, and plus the moon will still be in Pisces, right? This weekend, and then we move into Sunday, when the moon starts to get ready to come into Aries, and this is also when Saturn goes retrograde. And Saturn going retrograde, remember, Saturn's in Scorpio. That kind of story hasn't been talked much. I haven't been talking much about truth. I haven't been talking a lot about sex, about our deeper, truthful vibe. That's back now. Whenever Saturn goes retrograde, it's like, okay, we have advanced so far in rebuilding our intimate levels, rebuilding trust, rebuilding intimacy, trying to find different boundaries in our life and how to set them. And especially when you have Mars and Libra in relationships, setting boundaries in relationships is not an easy place, or understanding them is not that simple. But now that Saturn goes retrograde, it kind of takes a little bit of the workload off. But I'll be honest, with all the planets stopping, we could feel like we're frozen in time as we step into this weekend, like, whoa, this is a whole different thing. And a huge feeling changes in life. A huge feeling changes. And with Saturn retrograde now, we have to go inside and look at all these new rules we've set up with intimacy, these new boundaries that we're setting up, and test and see if they are going to stand up anymore. But it's also looking at your truth, that as you're trying to make your dreams happen, as you're trying to open up these new doors, are they based off your truth? Are you living in your core? Are you living in what you would desire? Are you in relationships that you are in the correct boundaries with? And now this shows me that this weekend, it's not about building anymore, especially when you have Saturn the builder and Mars the advancer retrograding. That it's our fantasies that push this message, and we get pulled to them, and we use our actions and we use our building tools to see what we've already have in our life and rework with all this greatness we have. We've built a sandcastle, let's redefine the castle now. But having a vision that is exciting and necessary to redesign our lives correctly instead of create them anew. It's almost like the universe has set the right people, the right energies, the right things to manifest, all in front of your plate. And now it's time for you to do something with it. Now, it can feel weird. This energy can feel very weird, even though it's positive, it's everything stopping. You have to also see that we're not through it all yet. Jupiter is dead stopped, and it's ready to go to direct next week. So there's a lot to process still in our lives and figure out. But the main thing now, coming out of this weekend, especially as the moon will then come into Aries, and it will come in the cardinal cross a little bit, that this is a new direction in our life. And we need to trust that Spirit's pulling in the right direction, and we need to know that we can't control the wind. We can't control the wind. But we can intuitively feel where the wind's going. And we need to surrender to that now and not push, but let it come to us. Saturn retrograde in Scorpio is allowing the receiving end. This is now where you test to see how well the law of attraction works in your life and how big your visions are and what doors are opening. Because I feel the universe is about to open all the doors for you right now and actually push you through them as well. So this is a very powerful weekend, very exciting. You know, I'd really look at this as a whole new world. And we're going to go deeper into next week. We still got to wait for Jupiter to come back online here and Mercury to come out of this period and come really direct. And I think that this is going to be really exciting and really great. And we've got Venus on its coming out of its shadow period this weekend, almost. The relationship energy is definitely a weird space to be in right now. And I would wait till we advance till next week to start making more decisions in this area. This is a weekend to lose yourself in your fantasy, to show the universe the doors that you want it to open, because it's almost like the law of attraction is setting which direction the wind will pull in your life now. This is exciting. Are you living in that higher self, that fantasy self, that true spiritual self, or are you lost in reality and trying to control it all? And you know, the universe is ready to open up this new magical door in your life to make your dreams come true. Whether or not you've pointed your ship in the right direction and you're not restraining yourself from allowing the push in that direction to happen is really all up to you. And what we're going to start to find out here as we advance in the weeks. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, if you want to get a one-on-one reading, or if you want to also do my Leo King event, Big Sedona Retreat, check that out at leokingevents.com. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I cannot wait to see you on Monday.